Hello, mobile app testers, and welcome to another video about mobile test automation. This time, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Maestro, whether you can use Maestro with landscape, and how to plug all of that into Moropo. My name's Tom Rigler. I'm one of the co-founders of Moropo. If you take a look through the Slack channel on Maestro, what you'll see is that there's lots of people who are asking about landscape rotation, but it's not officially supported by the Maestro team. However, my experiments have shown that there is some feasibility, and I'm going to take you through that now. Initially, let's take a look at iOS. So I've got Maestro Studio open here with our iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I'm in portrait mode, and as you can see, the hierarchy is correctly identifying all of the elements on the screen, and Maestro Studio is showing those to me. But as soon as I press landscape, you can see my iOS simulator has correctly rendered, in this case, the Wikipedia app into landscape, but on Maestro Studio, it doesn't quite right. And if I try and identify any of these elements, you'll see that position is wrong, and it's also struggling to find identifiers as well. What about Android? So let's quit out of that, and we're going to reload Maestro Studio, but this time with Android emulator. Again, I've got the same page open here on Wikipedia. Just waiting for Maestro Studio to load here. Okay, great. Maestro Studio is loaded. I've got my Android application open. And as you can see, in portrait mode, correctly got the hierarchy again. So let's put Android into landscape and see what we can do. Okay, emulator correctly in landscape has re-rendered the Wikipedia app. And again, Maestro Studio isn't quite right. But if we highlight on the elements actually potentially appear to be correct. You can kind of see the shape at the top of the screen here of where the elements might be. Now, what I have found is that if we go and restart Maestro Studio, this time we're going to restart it with the device already in landscape mode. You can see here that actually the hierarchy has been correctly parsed. And in theory, we could go and build our test here. Now, that's great if you're building and running locally with local emulators, but in my case, I want to go and plug this all together in the cloud so that I can go and drive tests from CI/CD and ensure consistent test creation and test execution environment. So I'm going to switch over to Moropo. So in Moropo, once you load up the live validator, the test editor itself, what you'll see in your Android options here is the ability to go and specify this 13.5-inch freeform Android tablet. Now, this tablet is actually in landscape mode by default. And so the device is going to load up now, and what we'll be able to do is go and interact with it in landscape mode. All of this happens in the cloud, which means the test creation and the test execution is happening in the same landscape Android environment, and there's no real need to ensure that we've got consistency locally because we're just going to do all of the test creation in cloud. Okay, great. We loaded. So I'll just play through the selected commands. This is just the sample script. Cool. So you can see that it's loaded in landscape. And if I pull up the hierarchy inspector as well, you can see we've got all of the hierarchy here. Wikipedia app's not very beautiful in landscape, but it has loaded, so that's all good. Okay, fab. Now, if I wanted to go and run those tests as part of a CI/CD run, or in this case manually, what I can go and do is select my latest Android build, and then go and specify this particular tablet again, and go and run my demo test. That will then go and spin up an emulator in the cloud in that landscape form. And if we were hooking into GitHub or another CI platform, we could go and connect that up there as well. So limited. It's a shame iOS support isn't there yet, but this is something that we'll continue to monitor. And I hope that's been helpful for you if you're at least able to run Android in landscape with Maestro and Moreau. Thanks for listening.